What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be looking at my settings. A lot of people have been asking for new settings now that I've switched over to PC from when I was on console. As you can see down below, we have 2,105 wins, but just after I hit 2,000 wins I moved over to PC. Because it's just a much better playing experience, unfortunately, than console, with the fact that PC has FOV sliders and stuff like that. So it really does make a difference. Moving forward, I don't use keyboard and mouse. I'm still using a controller, and I'm still using the same settings roughly. So we'll still see that now. I'll go through it all. So we're starting on general, guys. As I said, I use controller. At the moment, my FOV is 115. I will be moving up to 120 very soon. Obviously, I've been gradually changing it. I started off on 100 because obviously we're on 80 on console. I didn't want to go straight up to 120. It was going to be, you know, kind of hard to get used to instantaneously, you know. Even for someone who does play all day, every day, just instant change of almost doubling it's gonna take a big toll. So I started on 100. After a couple of days, maybe even I think about a couple of days, I went up to 105. A couple of days later, I went up to 110, and now it's been about almost 2 weeks since I switched over to the actual PC, and I've now turned it all the way up to 115. And honestly, I think it's about time I try 120. So we're going to go up to 120. Now, the big thing, guys, is the FOV. I've always played on independent, and even after I changed to PC, I was still playing on independent. I didn't realize that there was this really cool thing called affected, which gives you even less recoil because you don't zoom in as much. And it basically makes it so that, you know, there's not much recoil on guns. But again, this does also take a little bit of time to get used to. So, obviously, we're on affected. Brightness is at 50, which is the standard, I believe. Then everything else is pretty much exactly the same. I haven't really changed too much of this. My colorblind is on the middle one. Is it the middle one? So you got disabled, and then there's 3 of them. And yes, mine is on the middle one. And then I have it set to both, so it's not just a world, or it's not just interface. It's on both of them. Then you want to change your minimap to square. You get an extra 25% viewability of the map, which is definitely what you want. I personally have it on rotate so that you can always see the direction in which you're looking. I think, again, most people do run this one. I have letters. I mean, I don't know if that really matters too much. I mean, I have letters on, so I can just say like northwest, south. Moving down here, guys, I don't really display any of this. I've been told that apparently if you have like all of these on, that it shows you your stats up the top. It could technically lower your stuff. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But for me, I don't really care about what my frames are at that moment in time. It doesn't really bother me. So I don't really show any of this. There's just no need. So moving over to graphics, guys, I personally play in full screen borderless so that I can tab out and do other things on my other monitor. But that doesn't really necessarily matter. I don't need to have that on at all times. But again, I have been told, you know, if you are in just normal full screen, apparently you do get a bit more frames. Again, doesn't really bother me too much about that. It's minuscule. So again, 1080p resolution. I don't actually know what's under the advanced. Oh, okay, it's just standard. Again, aspect ratio, I have on automatic, which I believe it just goes to whatever your monitor is. I have this on. I actually don't 100% know. Let's have a look here. Oh, no, it doesn't limit it. So you want to have that enabled. And then moving down, most of the stuff is the same. Now, this is where it gets to what you want to decide to have on. So streaming quality is normal. My texture resolution is normal. I don't have it on maximum. The reason for that is, I mean, my PC could probably handle it. I have a 2080 graphics card and a 3800X CPU. Probably could handle it, but, you know, at the same time, I am on a single PC, so I do want to just make sure that, you know, for the time being, everything's okay. I've got it on normal. Normal here. Particle quality, I have high. It does make the quality a little bit better. Bullet impacts I have enabled. Even though I don't, yeah, so bullets I do have enabled, and that tessellation I have disabled. Personally, for me, it's kind of like a 3D effect, but I personally don't think it's something I need. You know, I don't really need that. On-demand texture streaming is enabled, and then the others are most of this is all the same. So shadow map resolution. Now this takes up a big bit of your RAM, and honestly, shadows don't really do too much. I mean, if a shadow's there, whether it's a perfect good quality shadow or just an average shadow, you know, it doesn't really matter too much there. I personally don't think. Let me turn the light on. I do apologize, guys. Didn't realize that wasn't on. So, these you want to have enabled. They actually make it so that, I do believe it makes it so it actually runs better. You get more frames if this is turned on. So you want the cache spot shadows and cache sun shadows on. Particle lighting. Honestly, it's just when there's like, as I can see, an explosion, what the color of how well the lighting is of an explosion doesn't really matter. You don't need it. Okay, you're not sitting there focusing on explosions. So again, I've turned that all the way down. This is all. I've got this turned off actually. It's just how the depth is perceived in corners and stuff like that. Personally, I have it disabled. Doesn't really bother me too much. Again, it uses up a little bit more of your... It's just how the shadows interact with each other, basically. So, whether it blends in or not. And to me, you don't really need it. Now, this is a big one. A lot of people do, like... A lot of people play with Filmic. A lot of people play with T2X. I personally... I don't really, obviously, like it too much on... Because I find when it's blurred together, it just hurts my eyes a little bit, and I don't know why. So I personally use SMAA1X. Now, a lot of people don't use this one, but it's just my personal opinion. You know, it is all personal opinion on PC. So depth of field is disabled because there's no point making your part of your screen blurry for no reason. You want to have world blurs turned off and your film grain turned all the way down. Now, this is a new feature that just came out in Season 2, I believe, and I honestly don't know what it's for. I'll have to read into it, but again, it is just, I have it disabled because I don't know what it does, and obviously, I don't want to... It doesn't look like it changes your RAM on how much you use, so again, not 100% sure on what is going on there. So, oh, I got to apply because I changed my field of view, I believe it was. Oh no, I changed something and I don't know what it was now. That's scary. Okay, so I personally play on boost high. A lot of other people have played on boost low, but this is just my personal thing. My master volume isn't even that loud. Don't know why it's, you know, I have it down. I don't really need to turn this up that much more because I adjust most of my volume from on my mix amp and stuff. Moving forward, we have, let's have a look here. I use open mic, but then obviously if I'm when I'm streaming and stuff, I might end up putting it on push to talk if I'm playing with randoms, and then, you know, depending on if they have a mic or not. But these are pretty much all just standard settings that I have on right here. Now to the main one that a lot of people are asking me, because obviously I play on controller on PC. I have a default button layout, but I don't actually play on default button layout. Let me drag over the piece of software that I use. Because when you're using a PlayStation controller on PC, it doesn't always register perfectly. So I use this thing called DS4 Windows. Now, what DS4 Windows does is it enables you to actually change what you want. So I run sticker move, and instead of using sticker move in game, because when you access a buy station, if you try and use your right analog stick on the buy station, it doesn't work. It's only if for your actual movement that it works on. And I don't want that. I want it to be working at all times. So what I do is I use this system. It makes it so that I can choose what buttons are what. So the only buttons I have changed is my R3 button is to jump, and then my old jump button is the R3. That's all that's switched around, and that is pretty much exactly how my controller works. And it just makes it so that you don't have as much of an input lag when using a PS4 controller on PC. So this is the system I use just for that, and that is all that system does. So my dead zone is at 0.05, which I believe is pretty I think that's a standard one. This again is depending on your own controller. If you're using a very old worn controller that moves on its own, you may need to turn the dead zone up so that it doesn't do that. You know, but if you've got a brand new controller, a 0.05 is going to be the best. Since my last video that I done for settings, so I've always used control freaks, as you guys are aware, but I've now got underneath my right stick is precision rings. Again, precision rings just make it so that you see how easy this is to move. Well, this one is a lot more firm, and that being said, you can be a lot more accurate with, you know, it's a lot more firm rather than just it can wobble around everywhere. I don't know if that's the easiest way to explain it. I'm not very good at explaining things, but that's why I use precision rings. It just makes your aim more precise, hence the name of it. And guys, if you just want to cop any of them, check out controlfreak.com. They're actually pretty cheap, and they are really nice. And I genuinely love them. Again, guys, if you do want to get any, use code SCOPES in the store, and you'll get 10% off. But that being said, guys, obviously, we're going to move on to the very last parts now of what we need to go through here on the settings. Just need to get my wire so that I can plug these back in. Let's have a look here. Alright, so plug my controller back in. Oh, where were we? Controller. So I had turned my sensitivity up. The reason I turned it up, as I stated, because I used to play on an 8. The reason I've turned it up to a 14 is because I have it's a lot firmer on moving the analog stick now, that I'm actually able to turn this up and it still feel like I'm moving at the same speed, so I can move faster and not lose any of that you know, aim. My personal opinion with the ADS is when I'm aiming down sight, I want it to feel a little bit slow, even slower, so I can be a little bit more accurate. Again, I don't change that for sniping though. I personally don't change it for sniping. Some of my friends who snipe also turn that even further down than a 0.8 because they also use 0.8 on their low zoom, and on a high zoom they turn theirs all the way down. But I love sniping, and I'm really accurate at keeping it at that 14, you know. Aim response curve, I don't know if it's been fixed or not, but there used to be an issue with the dynamic and all this, and I haven't looked into it, guys. I don't know. It might have been patched, it might not have been patched. I've always played on standard, and maybe, you never know, I could maybe improve my aim, improve all of this if I was to change, but I don't know. I don't know if it's just laziness, what it is. I don't bother looking into these sort of things. I just stay on standard. It's what I'm happy with. I'm comfortable with it, and at the moment, that is how I'm going to keep it. Now, controller vibration, I used to always play it with enabled, but now I've just disabled it. I don't know why. I don't know who told me to, but again, it's just I've disabled it now. Aim assist, again, standard. I was just told that focusing was overpowered at one point, but then when I tried it out, I didn't like it. It just felt horrible. It felt like I was missing a lot of shots because every time I would aim, it would go onto the poo I didn't want it to, and you know, it was just loads of shit was going on. I didn't like it. I kept it on standard. I've always played on standard. So, scale aim assist with FOV, I have disabled. If you enable it, then obviously it's really weird. Basically, if you just have it off, then the FOV stays, your aim assist stays the same. Weapon mounting, I've always used aim down sight and melee. A lot of people I know double tap aim down sight. Now, again, I personally just don't like doing that because I sometimes zoom in and out, in and out, in and out often, depending on the situation I'm in, and I don't want to accidentally mount when I'm not trying to. So for that thing, I've always got aim down sight. I quickly tap the melee button. It takes me a millisecond to tap it, and then that way, you know I meant to press that. Okay. Weapon mount, exit movements. Yep, so if I'm mounted and I want to get off, I don't want any form of delay. As soon as I move my controller, I start my character, I start to exit the mountain. Aim down sight behavior. I don't know anyone who has it on toggle, but I personally play on hold, which is standard. Again, equipment behavior is also standard. It's just how I've always enjoyed playing. Now, this is a big one, and there was actually a couple of subs and friends in my stream who still had it on tap to reload or tap to use. They never knew about contextual tap. I don't know how, but this right here is 10 billion times better than any other setting. You don't worry about these two. They're pointless. So the way contextual tap works is if there's loot on the floor, if there's anything like that, all you do is press once and you pick it up. Okay? So if you, for example, are landing and you're having to hold square to pick a gun up, Billy behind you's just tapped his controller once and he's got a gun in his hand while you're still sitting here holding square button to try and pick up a gun. He's already shooting you in the back of the head before you got the gun in your hand. So that's 10 billion times better. It's just you're faster at everything you do. The only thing is, if you're in a, for example, a helicopter, and normally you just tap square to reload, you're going to end up jumping out the heli. You need to hold square to reload now. But again, if you are running around and, for example, just walking around, you don't have to hold square to reload when just walking around. You can just tap square and it will reload. It prioritizes the opening of doors and stuff like that. That's all. So guys, the next one is depleted ammo weapon switch. I have it on enabled. I think that's the standard. So when you run out of ammo, boom, it automatically switches gun. Armor plate behavior. Now, I know this is a lot of people change this to all. So you press put armor plate on once and it will put all three on. You know, you don't have to hold the triangle button on down. Now, the problem I have is when I'm putting armor plates on, I play claw anyway. So I claw my finger over and I'm holding it so I can still move. I can still look. I can still do all of this. So I personally prefer to have this because I find that when you have it on all, cancelling it can take a while to register. And I personally prefer to have it on apply one. So slide behavior you want on tap. Again, if you're trying to slide, you know, everyone's slide cancels around Verdansk now. If you're trying to slide cancel and you've got it on hold, it's just going to delay all your movements. So you want to have that on tap. A lot of people use automatic tac sprint. I've tried it. I just can't get used to it. I do a lot of sniping. Now, when you're sniping, say I'm stood on the corner of a building and I just want to walk forward a little bit, I'm going to instantly start tac sprinting, which means I'm going to jump off a lot of buildings. So it's, with me being a sniper, and, you know, I don't have the fastest gameplay in the world. I'm not someone who runs around like I've snorted a line of G Fuel. You know, I've got my gaming socks on, the gaming chair with RGB lights on it. I'm not someone who's just full sending like that. You know, it's just not me. It's just not what I do, you know. So personally for me, I just have it disabled, you know, I just play normally. But if you are someone who does a lot of tourneys, you know, and you don't want to be wearing out your controller as much because you are full sending, then an automatic tac sprint, if you can try and take a week or two to get better with learning it, because obviously there's other factors. It's not just walking off of buildings and stuff. You know, your gun comes up every time you walk forward. So if you're in the middle of a gunfight and you walk forward, you're going to bring your gun up because you're starting a tac sprint. You can't shoot the moment you do that. So you're going to be in and out of, you know, stopping your gun from firing. But if you're a movement god like Joe Woe and people like that, you're probably you're going to get used to it and you'll learn the ways of how to get around that from happening, which there are many ways to do, and I probably could learn that as well. It's just for me, I'm not always full sending. If I was always full sending, I would try and learn automatic tac sprint. Okay, guys, I genuinely would, because it does make a difference in that fast-paced action style. It really does help. But for me personally, I have it on disabled because I'm more of a slower player. I enjoy it, you know, rotations, learning, you know, the best way, you know, able to get the dub. That's just me personally, you know. Auto parachute. A lot of people say, why do you have auto parachute on scopes? You pull it too early. And, you know, when you're flying down, 9 times out of 10, you pull your chute, you let go of it, you pull your chute, you let go of it. Once you've done one pull of chute, this thing is technically automatically disabled. So, you know, for me, it's very rare, but there are instances where I just, you know, this will save your life, okay? If you're AFK and you run downstairs to the toilet, boys, I'll be back in 2 minutes. You can start a game. I'll be back in time. The next thing you know, you come upstairs 1 minute later and the game has already started and you're dead on the floor at the end of the trip. It kind of sucks. Or you can have automatic attack sprint on and there's a chance you'll survive because you've pulled your chute and you've survived. Obviously, there could be other players at the end that end up trying to kill you. But yeah, so that's that, you know. And then the last one is pretty standard, you know, crossplay on. I'm on PC now. You can actually turn crossplay off? Okay. I didn't actually realize you can turn crossplay off on PC. That's pretty cool. Obviously, you got your Activision account. Yeah, I mean, this is a big one, actually. Friend requests and party invite notifications. Now, I actually turned this off for a reason. The main reason is if you used to be in a game and someone invites you and you press down to drop money, drop ammo, you know, drop a weapon or anything like that, and you press square to do something at the same time someone invites you, it will accept the invite, and you will make you automatically, without asking, are you sure? It will just make you leave the game. That got really frustrating, and it happened to me so many times. I finally found that there was a way to turn them off, so I've now disabled them. Nothing to do with being a streamer and people inviting me. That's not the problem. If it didn't make me automatically leave a game, if I wanted to drop money or something for a friend the same time someone invited me, you know, I'd probably keep it on. But that's not what I want. I don't want to have to keep getting kicked out of games because of it. So again, just have it all turned off. Obviously, I'm not going to be showing you my external IPs and stuff, but yeah, I'm from London, England. Most of you already know that. But yeah, I don't think there really is anything else to show. Keyboard, obviously, I don't use keyboard and mouse, and this is pretty much it. But the main factors, guys, that we want to take back from this is the field of view. You really want to try and play unaffected if you're on PC. It really makes a difference with recoil, and yeah, I mean, other than that, guys, colorblind type may be really helpful. It makes the colors just that little bit more vibrant, you know. For me personally, you want to make sure you got colorblind target on both, not just one or the other, okay? But yeah, I mean, I personally much prefer this. It's really good. But yeah, no, guys, thanks for watching the new and updated version of my settings. I doubt anything's going to change for the rest of, you know, now I'm on PC. I doubt anything is probably ever going to change, really. To be fair, maybe sensitivity I might fix here and there, but I highly doubt it. It's most likely going to stay like this for a while. I don't really see anything else changing, though. But guys, thank you all for the, you know, the love and support lately. You guys are amazing. I hope this has helped you. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask down below in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. Or stop by the stream, guys. We're live every single day over on twitch.tv/scopes, the exact same name as you see on this YouTube channel. It's the same over on Twitch, where I'm live every single day. I normally start around 3 p.m. Eastern over in America time. And then if you're from the UK like myself, I start 8 p.m. And again, every single day this is, guys. And then on Sundays, I play with you guys, the community. Anyone who's on the Twitch stream at the time, you know, we can jump into my Discord stream. My Discord queue, sorry. I have a queue over on Discord where you guys jump in the queue, and then I get you guys in, you know, as, you know, the way yous came in sort of thing. So it's a really good way I can obviously interact with you guys, and I'm always active on Discord as well. So even though we use Discord as a queue system for the Sub Sunday, it's also a place that everyone in the community can talk and chat with each other, and there's a lot of active people over there. So it's really cool, guys. So I appreciate all the love and support from you guys lately. If you haven't already done so, please smash the sub button. And let's see if we can just go for like 100 likes on this video. I know it's not a main video. It's just a little side thing that for like settings and stuff. But I hope this has helped you guys. I really do. Thank you all, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.